Power corrupts, as they say, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Luckily, though, the primary rule of comic book movies determines that every force of corrupted power comes with an equal and opposite force of good. For darkness, there is light, and for cold pizza, there is hot pizza. As the threat escalates with Phase 3 and more uniquely powerful characters are introduced, the picture of the power pyramid is changing, so which characters can claim bragging rights in the MCU power stakes? Notable nods must go to Ant-Man, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Groot, Cap, Iron Man, Loki, and Thanos, all powerful, but haven't quite had enough of a showing to earn their spot just yet. Let's see how the next year goes. I'm Ben from What Culture, and here are the 10 most powerful characters in MCU movies so far. Number 10. Starlord. The revelation of Peter Quill's real parentage in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 turns him into a real power player, and yeah, he subsequently loses part of that power when he wipes out its power source, but he's still half celestial, which means he's fundamentally very powerful. He proved in the first movie that he's capable of wielding an Infinity Stone, and though the light that gives him some new eye-catching powers in the sequel goes out, you have to suspect that his genetics ensure he's still incredibly dangerous. Number 9. Thor. Thor is basically a god, and that counts for a lot in the MCU. Not quite as much as you might expect, since Asgardian doesn't really mean deity, but his power set is incredibly impressive nonetheless. First, there's his Asgardian super strength, super speed, and super durability, and then there's his ability to command the weather, not just thunder and lightning, but also wind. And of course, he wields Mjolnir, the incredibly powerful warhammer which can also manipulate its environment and direct lightning bolts strong enough to take down giant Chitauri battle worms. He's a big deal. Number 8. Dormammu. Ultimately, primordial demon Dormammu only plays a glorified cameo role in Doctor Strange, but he's built in such a way that makes him seem like the new Galactus of the MCU and a considerably more fearsome power than Thanos has appeared to be so far. He's immortal thanks to living in the dark dimension, and he's older than time itself according to the Ancient One, but even if he wasn't, he would be too major a foe to take on in direct combat. After all, he wields tremendous supernatural power of apocalyptic proportions and can gift some of it to his followers. The extent of these powers is a little unclear, but we're definitely supposed to think of him as a godlike entity. Number 7. Odin. He was billed as the greatest warrior in the Nine Kingdoms, was worshipped as a god on Midgard, Earth, and he's able to strip others of power. That alone means he outshines his son. He's obviously an Asgardian, so he gets all of those powers, but he also has the mysterious Odin Force, an energy burst he can call on for a number of reasons suiting his situation. And, of course, he wields the formidable spear Gungnir. Loki clearly beat him in battle somehow at the end of the Dark World, whether through tricksterism or other means, so he's not infallible, but he's the big boy of Asgard, so well done him. Number 6. Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff is arguably the biggest unknown in the entire MCU currently, as she's already proved by being unhinged, switching sides, and being hugely wounded by the death of her brother. But away from questions about her stability, she's incredibly powerful, thanks to embodying the mutated powers of the Mind Stone, which gives her telekinetic, psionic, and telepathic powers. She can levitate, she is capable of making intensely durable force fields and psionic energy blasts, and at the peak of her powers, she has the ability to alter reality, using enemies' fears against them. Number 5. Hulk. You already know almost everything about the Hulk. He's the ultimate blunt object, a walking one-man army. The angrier he gets, the more powerful he gets. Bruce Banner is the archetypical geek-turned-jock. Before his accident, he was a weakling genius, but after the exposure to gamma radiation, he's transformed into a walking ball of muscular rage. But he's not all about the brute strength, he's entirely invulnerable. He spat out a bullet intended to kill Banner, for example, and he's capable of huge leaps. His strength is off the chart, and his resistance and durability generally in battle is at mythological levels. Number 4. Doctor Strange. Even with a super quick development period, he's able to command spells that should be reserved only for the Ancient One, can deflect other spells cast by the likes of villain Caecilius, and can astrally project and fight off seemingly much more capable magical foes. And then there's his ability to use the Eye of Agamotto, an actual Infinity Stone which grants him the ability to time travel, basically meaning he's capable of manipulating existence itself. That's arguably the most powerful magic skill of all, since it allows the user to defy death. He can also count on the considerable power of the Cloak of Levitation, which recognized his power as being strong enough to make him a worthy wearer, and that cloak knows a thing or two. Number 3. Hela. Big scary antler-adorned Hela is a big old thorn in Thor's side in Ragnarok. Not only does she show up in Asgard and make herself truly comfortable, but she destroys his best mate Mjolnir without flinching. The ruler of Hell and the Asgardian goddess of death, Hela is hella hellbent on hellish or hellacious acts or helldevas. Nailed it. She has superhuman strength, stamina, durability, can wield black magic, is telepathic, and can teleport and reincarnate, plus big bad Thanos might have the hots for her. Oh dear. Number 2. Ego. As Kurt Russell's Ego himself confirms in the Guardians of the Galaxy sequel, he is a Celestial, one of those all-powerful beings who originally wielded the Infinity Stones and the group Thanos basically wishes he was part of. He's essentially a god, small g, remember, capable of wielding awesome and terrifying powers manifesting in any form he chooses and basically terraforming planets using his power source. He may not have been around for very long, but he, by far, came closer to universal domination than any other Marvel baddie to date, and that is saying something. Number 1. Vision. His inclusion here is purely because he's basically an anthropomorphized Infinity Stone, and what is it that Thanos is after? Exactly. As a typical Frankenstein's monster, Vision actually draws from all of his sources that created him. There's something of Thor's power in there, that's partly why he can wield Mjolnir. He has the capacity to match Ultron's ferocious power, he has Tony Stark's genius intellect and adaptability, and he's programmed using Jarvis as a base level. Plus, he can count on all of the powers of the Mind Stone, which Loki showed off with aplomb previously. We've seen him blast energy, phase through matter, fly, change his image, and fight in a traditional manner, but as the Mind Stone, he can presumably also take over other people's minds and astrally project, and that's a hell of a skill set. And that's our list. Make sure you subscribe to the What Culture YouTube channel for more lists like this, and don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. I'm Ben from What Culture, and thanks for watching.